What is up, guys? Today we're talking Superior Avengers, One World Under Doom, and this one is good. So we actually open up with the OG Annihilus and the Annihilation Wave taking over the capital. Now, lest we forget who Annihilus is. Annihilus is a terrifying insect-like overlord from the negative zone, a strange and dangerous dimension parallel to Earth 616. Originating on the harsh planet Arthos, he rose to power by wielding the legendary Cosmic Control Rod, an artifact that grants him immense energy and slows his aging. But he's obsessed with self-preservation and domination. Annihilus views every other life form as a threat to his survival. He's not just a villain, he's a pure force for destruction, willing to wipe out entire civilizations just to ensure his own continued existence. Guys, he's a problem and he's a hoss. Now, as Annihilus is attacking this woman, Killmonger in a Black Panther suit comes out of nowhere, saving the day. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, okay, Black Panther's cool, but this is Killmonger. This must be an alternate version. So I knew immediately, like, this guy is not going to be alone. Long and behold, Killmonger is followed up with Dr. Octopus, but it's a female Dr. Octopus, was actually pretty dope. She looks really awesome. And joining the fray, we got good old Malekith. And I gotta say, I was super surprised to see Malekith. He's the last guy that I thought would have been introduced, but so far, so good. This is awesome. Little backstory about him. During a brutal clash with the War Avengers, Malekith seized control of the Venom symbiote, corrupting it with his dark sorcery. Once he learned that the Black Bifrost had fallen into enemy hands, he quickly retreated to Sarflum, where he overwhelmed both Freya and Odin. Empowered by the symbiote, Malekith reshaped it into a twisted blade reminiscent of the All Black, the infamous Necrosword once used by Gore the God Butcher, drawing upon the ancient darkness of Null himself. Dude, this guy's a hoss. This guy is someone to be reckoned with, okay? You can't mess with this dude. Now, that said, that's also kind of why he looks the way he does. It's not a real symbiote that he's wearing. It's dark magic that's kind of emulating a symbiote. So for anyone who was wondering, why does Malekith look like that, all twisty and gooey, that's why. But it is awesome, and I love it. And he's taking out these bugs left and right. Dude, even his hair is boss. It's like Naruto's Jiraiya. Meanwhile, Malekith's clapping those cheeks, we got my favorite, and I'm so glad he's back. He looks different. He definitely has been on a diet, but Onslaught has returned. Guys, if you have forgotten, let me remind you. Onslaught is a terrifying psionic force born from the darkest parts of two of the most powerful mutant minds, Professor X and Magneto. The seeds were planted during a violent confrontation when Magneto tore the adamantium from Wolverine's body, pushing Xavier to his limit. In an attempt to stop Magneto, Xavier shut down his mind, but in doing so, unknowingly absorbed all of Magneto's rage and hatred. That fury mixed with Xavier's own suppressed negativity, creating a new, separate conscious, Onslaught. For a time, it lay hidden within Xavier, but growing frustration with anti-mutant hatred and personal loss gave it strength. Eventually, Onslaught fully awakened when Nate Gray pulled Xavier's astral form into the physical world, unleashing the entity upon the Marvel Universe. Now, guys, the only reason why Onslaught even got taken out at great sacrifice from the Fantastic Four, the Hulk, some of the X-Men, was because the Hulk was allowed to break his helmet just barely. And after that, then they were able to get him out. Now, this next guy, I was kind of surprised. I don't know if they're going to do like a spin-off comic for him or not, but Abomination is here, and he looks to be using like a Captain America-esque suit. It does look cool, and also looks remnant of Doom's helmet, so it looks pretty cool. I'm going to give him a chance. He does look awesome, so we'll see how that goes. Now, last but not least, we have Ghost, and I'm real interested to seeing where Ghost goes. I don't know if they're going to develop her powers further for her to get enhanced control over it. Maybe some new abilities, just enhanced abilities. I'm real curious. Now, you did see her in the Marvel Universe, Cinematic Universe. I'm super interested to see what they can do with this character. Now, after they all put those hands to Annihilus, he pretty much bowed out and bounced. He's going back to his own realm, so that's pretty cool. And if you don't know, he goes back to the negative realm, which is dope because he basically has like a whole realm onto himself. But yeah, he can't handle all these dudes. I would say Onslaught by himself would be more than enough for a lot. I don't know about the whole realm of Annihilus, but definitely he'll give them a run for their money. Now, one of the victims just so happens to be a senator, and he's like, who are you people? You know, we've never seen you guys. We have no, you're clearly, you know, not the Avengers. And Killmonger's talking to him and goes, you know, isn't it obvious who we are? Now, we are taken to a flashback 2 weeks earlier, and it's Doom entering a lab, and it's so dope because it's just his adopted son in there working with Doombots, you know, doing his thing. And Doom comes in, and his son's like, Father, was your diplomatic excursion to Wakanda successful? And Doom, being Doom, says the coolest stuff. So he goes, it was as I predicted. They are a proud country and would fight to remain independent, despite some within their government already pledging fealty. But resistance won't be necessary. I will allow their continued sovereignty, which is one of the doomiest Doom things Doom could say. Doomiest Doom. Say that 10 times fast. So that's pretty dope, but that also tells me there's some in Wakanda that are going against T'Challa's wishes. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that later plays out. So it's revealed to us what Kristoff, Doom's son, is actually working on. And I was a bit surprised to hear this, because Doom's allowing him to upgrade the time platform. But this isn't just for any old reason. This is because they're trying to get Avengers from the future that would serve allegiance to Doom. But Kristoff doesn't seem too sure of himself. He even says, but Father, the adjustments I've made are yet unstable. The chrono skimming capabilities haven't been finally tuned. I can't be sure that, and he gets cut off, and he says, Doom says, you are the son of Doom, Kristoff. Show me. Y'all know Doom doesn't play, especially with family relations. I mean, you've seen him go for his mama. He does not play, guys. So it's pretty cool. He shows his dad, and he brings Amadeus Cho. As soon as Amadeus Cho realizes it's Doom, he goes on the attack, though, and starts killing all the Doom bots, and immediately Doom puts this to a halt and blast him, I don't know, with magic, science, whatever it is, completely disintegrates this guy. And this isn't just any regular Amadeus Cho. This is an Amadeus Cho in Hulk form. So this is pretty dope to see that even Doom is capable of just taking out a Hulk so easily. Granted, I don't know if he could still do this to Worldbreaker Hulk. That would be a fight I'd love to see. But he probably could, man. Doom is up there. Now, jumping back to the present, we have Kristoff, on behalf of Latveria and Doom, of course, giving a speech to the United States people. He even says, distinguished members of the press, on behalf of my father, Victor Von Doom, I thank you for gathering here despite the chaos and fear caused by yesterday's annihilation wave. He even goes to say, as you are all too aware, the people of this city were not protected by harm by Captain Marvel or Iron Man or the Fantastic Four, which is true. None of them came to help. And he gently reminds the people, they're the same people who endangered the lives of thousands of New Yorkers when faced with the very same threat over a year ago. They didn't repel the invaders at the doorstep. But under Doom, you will not be without heroes. So officially now he presents the superior Avengers to the world. And guys, they look dope. But something of notoriety, after they travel back to Latveria, Killmonger takes off her helmet, revealing that she's actually a woman, which I thought was pretty cool. A female Killmonger, that's going to be awesome. She seems all scarred up, so you know she's seen some stuff. But it seems as though she has like a little romance with Kristoff, because she says, your visage is perhaps easier on the eyes. Yes. So she's clearly flirting with him. He brushes it off like, no big deal, whatever. Business goes on. Now, this is where things start to take a turn and we start seeing some more stuff unfold. So Dr. Octopus goes, surely the flirtation is a manipulation tactic, addressing what Killmonger had just previously said to Kristoff. Killmonger replies, watch your tongue. Our benefactor is the son of Doom. We must venerate him and remember our place. Dr. Ock replies, you can drop the act. I've turned our quarters into a black box. And if he does check in while we're pursuing our actual mission, my drones will be more than sufficient enough to fool him. So they have almost like life model decoys. which is really cool. I'm assuming these Superior Avengers are from the future, which is pretty dope. But she has these little octopus that kind of like little androids that can turn into a life model android, which is awesome. I like that because they can just use that on a whim. But Killmonger says, "Do you forget what our hubris cost us once before, Olivia?" Talking to Doc Ock. So now we get a glimpse of the future, actually. So this is Doomstat, Anno Doom 128. So I assume the 128th year Doom has been ruling. And you see Doc Ock saying, this can't be happening. And right now it just looks like the world is coming to an end. And Doc Ock even says, we had our fail-safes for this protocol. So this world that's falling apart, Doc Ock says, it can't end like this. And Killmonger replies, we all still bear the scars from the final incursion, trust me. So clearly this is alluding to in the future there was an incursion caused by them somehow, some way. And what we see is really cool. It's the black hand that's remnant of the King in Black. So I'm real interested to see how this all ties in. Incursion, black hand, this is going to be awesome. So here we see Killmonger talking to Ghost, and she's wondering if she deposited the artifact they had actually taken in the capital, because that was Ghost's side mission. While everyone else was fighting the Annihilation Wave, Ghost was out actually trying to retrieve an artifact. So she opens this doorway, and when she opens it, we realize we're right back in the negative zone, which is cool because this is just where the Annihilus Wave came from. So it's pretty awesome. It's kind of scary to see that the Annihilus Wave was beaten that far back, though. Now, just to remind you guys, this is Prison 42. It's capable of housing some of those powerful beings. Now, coming here, it's real interesting because you get to see Ghost actually basically explaining that she's a little bit afraid to be here because the Annihilus Wave, despite them not being there for the moment, doesn't mean they're going to stay down, because how often does Annihilus stay down? He always comes back. But Killmonger reminds her, hey, we'll put him down. If he's an enemy of us, we'll just take him out. No big deal. And Killmonger gently reminds her, we already killed Doom once, and we'll burn this entire era to ashes if that's what it takes to reclaim our future. So this is pretty dope, guys. I will be coming out with another video 2, and I believe issue 3 is already out. I got to read it, but I'm going to get that in the works, and stay tuned, and see you guys later.